Church, Drew got on my nerves and stayed on my nerves all episode long. And scene. I've got my notes. I hope y'all got yours. Let's get on into this drama-filled mess. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can y'all hear me out there? Listen to my returning church members, baby. Welcomes. And to all my new people, please, baby, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and to also click that bell notification so you are notified every time I decide to upload a video. Now, baby, listen, my outfit and my spirit today is giving mesh because I was trying to get invited to them girls' pajama party. So we gonna have a pajama party of our own, all right? Now, quick church announcement, y'all. I apologize in advance if you hear any sort of, lawn care noise or any sort of thunderstorms, because when I tell y'all a whole bunch of stuff is going on around me right now, and like Kenya falling outside them people hotel, I'm going down too, okay? But we gonna get into this damn review that I owe y'all, and I am so sorry that I am late. I'm preparing to go out of town so I could thug with my rounds, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown, ow. Actually, I'm not even going out of town to have fun, but it's okay. A lot of things have gone by the wayside, but I gotta make sure to get y'all reviews because I made a commitment to y'all too, okay? So let's get on into it. And let's talk about Drew and Sheree and this whole aftermath of this fight down to the table. So, the thing about it is, and the thing that I love about our congregation is that y'all be helping me understand some of the context behind these situations on the back end, okay? And so y'all made a really good point, which was that Drew was probably dealing with something else in that moment, and it was more than just the argument with Sheree. Now, there's a saying down to Shakespeare, I forget which play, but it basically goes, the lady doth protest too much. And it pretty much says, like, whenever anybody is, doing too much or talking too much about a subject or going around in circles, it usually means that something else is afoot, okay? And come to find out here, baby, if you think about it, Drew's reaction to Sheree's perceived infraction, it wasn't even congruent to the matter at hand, right? Like, there is no way that argument with Sheree brought out that level of tears from Drew. So a logical mind, which is what y'all basically had, last week before I did, would say that there's something else afoot here. So come to find out, it's basically Drew feeling a way about Ralph and, his stripperization of his situation and going off to Chicago to basically be in this whole Black Magic Mike type review thing, and also being in Vegas and potentially doing her wrong. So listen, I could go into a lot of it, but I'm not going to, because in real time we know that they basically race each other down to the courthouse in terms of trying to file for divorce before the other one. So it looks like even though you was mad about something else in the moment, Drew, the logical conclusion happened because what you were truly mad about figured itself out on the back end in terms of the divorce with Ralph, right? But one thing that I do want to salute Sheree for is that she stayed even after Drew was going through all of her drama, lightweight cussing her out. She basically tried, because she was the host of the event, to be the bigger person in the moment, because that whole situation where she's saying F you and be this and da-da-da-da-da, that could have literally gone very left very quickly. So salutes to Sheree for basically trying to embrace healing, because we know there was no healing last episode. Okay, so now let's move on to Kandi works too much, right? Now listen, Kandi, don't you ever let them girls make you feel any ways tired about getting all the damn bags that you can, okay? I refuse it. Listen, Housewives is not forever. This platform is not forever. If you let somebody tell it, or if you let the truth be told, you've been phoning in the drama for years now, okay? But the people down to Bravo really like you. You have a good relationship there, and they keep you on the show as kind of like, one of the OGs. I think you came in the second season, but you're still an OG because you were, loosely there from the beginning. But, Kandi, you're not really known for a whole bunch of drama. You pick and choose, little things to basically, keep your peach and keep the people interested. But, the lion's share of your purpose on this show is to basically be the kind of archetype for success, right? So you're the successful person of the franchise, right? Now, there have been several successful people in the franchise. I don't mean to minimize other people, but in terms of ultimate success, in terms of this platform, Kandi has far exceeded what anybody else has done, at least down to Atlanta, as far as, going into different businesses and making the leap into other avenues, right? And so, listen, I don't have a problem with Kandi basically putting the friendships and the stuff on the back burner while she's working on getting these bags. If anybody should be mad, it should be Kandi children, okay? And if you let the truth be told, didn't Riley say years ago before, Kandi had these last two children via a surrogate that y'all wasn't going to be good parents? No. She said y'all did not have time to be good parents, okay, because y'all are too busy. So listen, if anybody should be mad in the damn situation, it should be the children. So I'm basically going to put your friends, feelings to the side. Kandi, you get every single bag, every single opportunity, every single platform, every single podcast, every single damn stage you can be on while you have it, okay? I always say, if you do not come out of, the Real Housewives with a relationship or some sort of, upper hand in life, some sort of new platform, new business, etc., you have failed it, okay? Now, one could say you far exceeded that, which you have, but listen, until you feel settled and until you feel satisfied with your trajectory, girl, don't you let anybody tell you otherwise, okay? So I support Kandi and her working too much because, listen, the kids could feel away, the friends gonna feel away, but Kandi and her family gonna be paid. Okay, now let's move on to the next item, and let's talk about Kenya falling and Courtney's karma comment. Now, Kenya falls when she's walking out of the hotel down to Portugal, right? Now, my first thought was, Kenya trying to get some money out these people. Forgive me, Lord. Okay, I was like, why is Kenya trying to sue this damn hotel for money? Is Kenya more hair care, not doing as well as we thought? No, I'm just joking. But listen, the Portuguese hotel clearly, crossed their T's and dotted their I's, because if y'all saw in the episode, they had the little emergency yellow cone there saying that it was slippery, okay? So Kenya, you can't sue them people for nothing because they literally did their due diligence in terms of putting out the signs or whatever. So, maybe you just didn't realize it was more wet than it was. Now, what I really want to talk about regarding this subject is Courtney's karma comment, right? So she basically says, the thing about Courtney is when new people come on the show, they either take one of two paths. They either attack everybody or they try to be everybody's friend. For some unknown reason, Courtney seems to be trying to make her way through the group by having arguments, right? So she started off with Kandi, now it's moved on to Kenya. I'm not saying that there were any sort of, infractions that weren't legitimate in terms of gripes that she had with these people, but it just seems very happenstance that you just always seem to find yourself in a subsequent argument and you basically brand new, ripped out the plastic to this damn franchise, okay? So Courtney basically says, sometimes things happen to clear out the negative energy. Now, the thing about her comment is that it started off good, right? Because I thought she was going to go the vein of, sometimes things happen to slow you down, right? That's how I thought she was going through it, right? So even though this horrible thing happened to Kenya in terms of her falling, right? Sometimes things happen because you need to slow down, you need to take a moment, you need to look after yourself, you need to work on yourself, etc. That would have been more palatable than saying that lady basically fell because that's her karma, okay? And if I know this damn show from watching it for umpteen seasons, okay, that comment is going to come back to bite you in the ass. As soon as Kenya heals her damn tailbone and somebody decides to carry that bone over to her, Courtney, watch out, okay? Now let's move on to Monyetta and Kenya downing Marlo's relationship. I'm calling it basically a little Tinder date. That was Kenya's comment for it. The thing about it is, Marlo gets a bad rap on this show, and I said this last time in terms of it's because Marlo's not consistent from moment to moment, and people don't know what they're going to get with her, okay? And the thing about it is, in this instance, I'm going up for Marlo because y'all can't have it both ways in terms of the other girls. Marlo can't be, a hoe, a whore, always have her legs open, always dating people for money, dating white men, etc., okay? She can't be that. But then when she basically opens up her heart and she divulges that she hasn't dated anybody for 4 years, she's been working on herself, she's scared to let people in, and she's trying to kind of dive into this new relationship in real time in front of the cameras, y'all have a problem with that and you're downing it, calling it a little Tinder date. So you can't have it both ways, okay? Is she, a hoe that can't keep her legs closed? Or is she, this person that goes on these little Tinder dates? Like, y'all have to pick a lane, okay? Either if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But I think the whole thing of her trying to switch around her narrative, you kind of have to give her a little grace and a little space in order for this whole thing to play out, right? Because she seems to be wanting to change in real time, even though it competes with, plan A in her head, which seems to be to create all the drama on the show, hide her hands, and then, roll off into the sunset. So I just really didn't like how, they downed her Tinder date, which is basically her trying to open up and show the reality of her dating situation versus the narrative that's always being run with, okay? Now let's move on to Sheree and Martell. In this whole check-in that we're doing, it was a lesser point, but it happened multiple times, so I guess we can talk about it. Now, y'all gonna have to drop down in the comments and let me know the full extent of what, Martell did down to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I can say, hand to God, I have never seen an episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, ever in life, okay? But all I know is basically hearsay from the streets in terms of that Martell did his ex-wife wrong, okay? Now, I'm a firm believer that, leopards don't change their spots unless the leopard himself wants to change his spot, right? But I think sometimes we make a mistake in terms of downing these people in terms of what they're trying to accomplish, right? Like, if you're honest with yourself, when you're dating a man, you date them for different reasons. You date some men for security. You date some men for companionship. You date some men to, get you through a rough period in your life. You date some men to try to find a relationship, okay? And so if Sheree is literally putting this man in the vein of, I just want to have some fun, then, hell, I'm Team Marlo. Anybody without an ankle bracelet is basically an upgrade, okay? But Sheree, don't be stuck on stupid and fall in love with this man, okay? Because the streets say that he hasn't changed his damn spots, and I don't want you to fall back into this whole same narrative of Sheree can't pick the right man. Sheree always goes after the wrong man. Poor Sheree when it comes to dating, okay? So if that man is just fun, a good old time and some good old sex down to the bed, honey, let it be that, okay? Now let's move on to Kandi versus Drew and this whole and scene comment. Now, Drew, listen, I know you are always trying to continually find a moment on this show, but when I tell y'all this whole and scene thing was dragged out so far, it wasn't even funny, okay? Drew, what's her name? Kandi did not mean any harm with the and scene comment, okay? Anybody, hell, even me last week was looking at you crazy in terms of you being logical in an argument by all matters and by all, occurrences, winning the argument and then dissolving into a puddle of tears. It seemed like a very quick switch, right? And so to one looking on the outside, looking in, it probably did seem like an and scene moment in terms of you one way and then next thing you know, you crying and you walking off, okay? Now, the thing about it is, I personally do not think that Kandi meant any sort of ill will by the comment, okay? It was fun shade to me. There was no malice behind it, okay? And sometimes you tend to pick and choose the things that you want to harp on. I just don't think your moment was found with this whole and scene comment. I just think you dragged it way out of proportion. It wasn't that damn deep. And because it wasn't that damn deep, Kandi didn't have a problem just apologizing on the spot just to dead the issue and move the hell on, okay? So, Drew, you can't do that. The thing about it is, just going back to the whole thing with you and Sheree, when they showed that damn montage of you talking about Sheree and bringing other people's business up and stuff, like in the eternal words of Sutton Strack from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, okay? You can't pick and choose when you offended. You can't carry people business to them and try to, basically, shame them in a gimme gotcha format. And then when the same thing is done to you, you so offended, you so traumatized, and you don't know how you gonna go on and you need an apology, okay? So you got to keep it consistent in terms of that. Now let's move on to y'all. This storm is raging outside. We only got 2 more points to go, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Okay. Sanya's family drama. So the girls were sitting down for the pajama party. And Sanya started crying, talking about, the issues with her family and her sister, and her sister not feeling appreciated with all the stuff that she does. Listen, Sanya, the worst thing that you ever did was move all them damn people into your house, okay? That was the absolute worst thing you could do. Listen, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Your mama, your daddy, I ain't got no problems with you moving them in. But the rest of them people should have been at a damn rental apartment down the damn street, okay? You cannot have people living off you, working for you, and trying to establish themselves all at the same time, okay? Something in that damn trio is basically going to come into conflict, and that's what's happened with your family, okay? But I think it's one of those situations that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and once they are off doing their own thing, working their own program, basically everything is going to go back to being copacetic between everybody involved, okay? So even though you're trying to hold on to everybody with dear life or for dear life, you gotta let people go. What's the old saying? Let them go, and if they return to you, they were always yours. Listen, your sister ain't going nowhere. Her husband ain't going nowhere as long as they married, stay together. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't trying to spread no tea. I know nothing, okay? But your sister will always be your sister. Your parents will always be your parents. And I think everybody going off to their own parts of Atlanta or whatever part of the country they want to go to is best, because distance is going to make the heart grow fonder, and it's going to make y'all whole situation better, okay? Now, in terms of our last point here, let's talk about, did Drew kiss LaToya? Kandi says yes, Drew says no. Once again, Drew, you got on my nerves, and you stayed on my nerves. The thing about it is this. One thing for sure and 2 things for certain, we don't know Kandi Burruss to be a liar, okay? So I'm firmly in the belief that Kandi saw what she saw. Now, the problem in this situation is LaToya would have been the tiebreaker, but Drew says that LaToya came to her and apologized for the lies, and she said Kandi told her to tell that thing. We also don't know Kandi for pulling people's strings on the back end in terms of something bad like that or something scandalous like that. So fun shade, yes, but anything truly serious, like Kandi is not that even type of friend. So I'm inclined to believe Kandi in the matter. And Drew, the whole thing, like, let's take it back to Shakespeare with the lady doth protest too much, okay? You over here saying, you ain't kissed LaToya, it never happened, this, that, and the third. Marlo is confused. She's 80% sure you kissed her, 20% confused because you confusing her. The thing about it is, and if I try to use my third eye in the situation, I truly wonder, and y'all drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all feel this as well. But do you think that Drew's inability to fess up to the whole LaToya kissing thing has anything to do with her church upbringing and her mother being a pastor? Okay? That's the first thing I thought of in that moment. It's just that whole, indoctrination into the Christian church in terms of this is wrong and I can't basically say this on Front Street because it reflects badly on me and my family in a way, okay? So I truly wonder if Drew's inability to fess up to this whole thing is because she's trying to save face in front of, the Christian church and her mama and, the whole pastorship of that whole situation. But, Drew, y'all know my saying, 1 time is a fluke, twice is a pattern, and by 5 it's a lifestyle, okay? If LaToya was a fluke, then this whole thing that's about to, come out about Ty, that's a pattern. So, listen, I'm inclined to believe you kissed that girl because a leopard don't change his spots unless the leopard truly wants to change their own spots. But we'll see, and I'm not calling anything over anybody. Anywho, y'all, I think that's really all I wanted to talk about on this episode. So if you liked what I said, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media at DatDamnDasher. And until next time, y'all, let's get into more of this damn drama with Drew and Ty. And maybe Sheree will find some healing for some more people on this damn, trip. And hell, maybe the sun might come out. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.